I started paying attention probably, I mean, of course I was a fan of Biggie and Tupac in the 90s and late 90s, but I think I really started to pay attention to hip hop in probably 99 in the early 2000s. Probably wasn't until I first heard 50 Cent. I mean, I remember when Eminem first came out. To be honest, I thought Eminem was kind of corny when he first came out. Other than CDs I bought in the past, like Puff Daddy and the Family, I didn't start buying hip hop albums again until I think Get Rich or Die Trying. Actually, I did have a Ja Rule single. I will admit that. I had a single, not the whole album, it was just a single. That was my big thing, was the mixtapes. When that started to take off, and all the G-Unit mixtapes, the Dipset mixtapes, that's when I really started to become conscious with, like, you know, the underground rap scene, probably when G-Unit first came out. The bulletproof vests, the guns, the bulletproof cars, I just became, I wouldn't say obsessed, but I was like almost infatuated with like that kind of lifestyle, because I was, you know, an outsider looking in. I wanted to like know about it. And then same thing with like, you know, Dipset, they were kind of the same way. You know, you'd buy the mixtapes and you would hear stuff that they would never play in the radio. That's what I fell in love with, that aspect of it. Whatever song was popular on the radio, he would take the song and they would redo it, and they would make that song better than the original one, and I thought that was the coolest thing. Because a song normally I wouldn't listen to, now I'm listening to. A lot of people don't give credit, and they were the first ones to do that. He would even keep the chorus. For example, the LL Cool J song, Love You Better, 50 Cent turned it after Machetta. He would take the chorus, the flow, and he would just flip it into something totally different, but it still sounded like the original. Dipset attracted me because, you know, they would rap over songs that normally you wouldn't hear a rapper. They would sample the craziest, most random songs. I remember they sampled that show, Facts of Life. They sampled the theme song and they turned it into a song. I just always loved stuff like that, and from there I became a fan of, you know, their original stuff too, and their whole movement. And today that doesn't happen like that. It's all about the club song. I like to call it the social media era of hip-hop. Everybody's looking for that one catchy song that sticks in your head. Songs come and go now, you know. That song's gonna be hot for 4 to 6 months, and then, you know, it's gone. And then the next catchy club song comes about, and then the next one. That's one thing about hip-hop, it changes. It's, you know, it's not what it used to be in the early 2000s, and it's, you know, not what it used to be in the 90s or the late 80s. This is just the next era of hip-hop, and, you know, you can't really stop it. I feel like songs back then were timeless, and I'll say it like, for example, in the club, you know, you think of somebody's birthday, that's like the number one song. Somebody's birthday, oh, I want to hear In the Club. I just feel like songs today, you know, yeah, in 2020, nobody's gonna be listening to I'm in Love with the Coco. Nobody's gonna be listening to that 2 months from now. You know, back in the day, artists were signed to contracts and they would have to do 5 albums. Now today, record companies give a guy a deal because he made one hot song and has 1 million views on it, one YouTube video, and that's what they base the record deal off of. You know, make one song and then, all right, man, you're not working out, and then drop them. They only base off of how popular you are, how many followers you have on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. I look back on the early 2000s, you know, music back then, for me, is timeless, and I think a lot of great music came out of that era of hip-hop.